Hello youthers, welcome to episode 1 of your Ballot Friend Series. So today we're talking about harmonized elections. I'm sure you've heard that word somewhere. When we talk about Zimbabwean elections, we always refer to them as general elections, but also just as harmonized elections. What that word means is basically the fact that you don't have to vote for your councillor, your MP, the president on different days. You actually vote for them on one day, so you're harmonizing the processes. It obviously has its advantages. One of them is the fact that it makes it easy to vote, especially for us, the voters, because hey, we actually prefer to just do it one time instead of, going to different areas to do something that's similar in different times, different dates, different locations. So basically it has those kind of advantages, but it also makes it very affordable for the government to host periodic elections because hey, it's less cost if you're doing it on one day. One of the things that you also need to remember is the fact that there are some people that are not necessarily voting on that day. For example, soldiers, police officers that are on duty on that day would have voted before in specialized polling stations. Diplomats, for instance, that are outside the country have also been given permission to apply for and vote through postal voting. But the question is, as I talk about the people that may not necessarily be voting on the same day, is who actually votes on this day? So as long as you're 18 and above and you're a registered voter, you can actually vote. As long as you're a resident in that particular community, can be a ward, a constituency in the country, you can then vote for that person that you're voting for. Like we already said, it's harmonized, so you're voting for 3 people in the same day. So it means all of this voting is going to happen in one polling station for all of the people that are voting on election day. I already say that, it's very important for us to have elections, but why is it so important? Number one, the Constitution makes provision for the government of Zimbabwe to actually administer periodic elections. And these elections have to have a certain environment, things like peaceful elections, fair elections, elections that have integrity, accountability, transparency, and all of those things. You can read about it in the Constitution of Zimbabwe. You can also just Google about it. But the point is to say that if the Constitution gives us provision as a country through our government to host periodic elections, we have to do it. Number 2, it also gives us an opportunity to actually recycle the leadership that we have, recycle ideas and bring in new ideas that can help our country moving forward. There are also other benefits that, I'd love to hear about them. So maybe share them in the comment section. Now we're talking about young people, which is basically the essence of this entire series, to say, why is it important for us as young people to participate? The one thing that's almost cliche that we say when we talk about young people, not just in Zimbabwe, but in the continent, is the fact that we're demographic majority. We're the majority in all of the countries in Africa. So what that means is that we actually have a significant stake, not just in Zimbabwe today, but the future of Zimbabwe. So when we vote, we're actually putting forward our voice and talking about the kind of Zimbabwe that we're looking for. So it's very important for us young people to vote. But more than just us voting, but you're also looking at, it's an opportunity for you to run for office. I hope you are actually running for office as a young person. We'd love to know. So maybe post a comment. We'd love to celebrate you and encourage you as a young person running for office. But this is just to emphasize the fact that, it's an opportunity for us young people to amplify our voices, to talk about the things that are very important to us. And the last thing that I want to mention about is the value of elections. I think it's that opportunity that we actually get to learn more about our country. Because right now you're learning about the election process. You're learning about the fact that their councils, members of parliament, president, they're all like just different people and doing different things. You wouldn't ordinarily have learned about that because you're not going to be online searching for that unless you're one of those people that has an interest in the subject or the people that is studying or working within that area. So it's an opportunity for everybody in the country to actually begin to learn and understand about our country and see how we can also contribute to that. So yeah, I hope you learned something on today's episode of Your Ballot Friend, where we're talking about just harmonized elections, what they are, why they're important, who should vote, and why we as young people need to actually show up and vote. So see you tomorrow in our next episode of Your Ballot Friend. Bye.